Welcome back. Billions of tax dollars fueling a spending and hiring spree at the Environmental Protection Agency as the Biden administration is pushing its green agenda and that climate agenda forward. Watchdog group Open the Books reporting more than $100 billion has been funneled into the EPA in just the last 2 years. They have reportedly spent over $600,000 in the past 4 years on guns, on ammunition, and military-style equipment for more than 130 quote-unquote special agents with the power to carry guns and make arrests. Joining me now with more details is Open the Books founder and CEO, Adam Andrzejewski. Adam, it's great to have you this weekend. Thanks very much for being here. These numbers are stunning. Can you explain to us why the administration would be spending all this money on the EPA on ammunition and guns?
Well, when the number one national security threat is climate change, I think that gives you moral license to do a lot of different things. And one of those things is to staff up, lawyer up, and arm up. And so, Maria, what we have is Congress throwing so much money at the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency that they don't even have the projects to spend it on. And their auditors, the Inspector General says, they don't even have the resources to actually audit huge chunks, up to $40 billion of their budget spending.
Let's go through some of this because the average EPA salary is $124,000. 77% of the agency's employees make more than $100,000 a year. And they've got 223 public affairs officers. I'm trying to understand in what scenario any of these people would need guns.
So, Maria, you have a situation here where you have the blurring of the lines between a civil administrative agency, you know, to protect the environment, and then a law enforcement agency. And so those people that are involved in the regulations should not be involved on the law enforcement side. That's for traditional law enforcement agencies underneath the Department of Justice, underneath the Department of Homeland Security. But what most people don't even know, and we didn't know it before we found it on our oversight investigation, was that the EPA has also spent over $700 million on their criminal law enforcement division, and they have the EPA's version of Homeland Security. So it's had mission creep. It was Homeland Security at the EPA was founded after 9/11, you know, to defend critical infrastructure like water supply in the United States against terrorists. But now it's involved in pandemics, it's involved in cyber attacks, it's involved in natural disasters.
This is incredible. No wonder the Republicans are trying to get the appropriations process to hold back some money. Let's talk a bit about what they're doing and where this money came from. This is $100 billion of new money that's been siphoned into these agencies. It's not just the EPA. The IRS is also arming its agents with guns and spending money on ammunition. Tell me what they're doing with that money and where this money came from.
So in terms of militarizing the federal agencies, at OpenTheBooks.com, we've been the subject matter experts since 2016 when we put our piece up at the Wall Street Journal, Why Does the IRS Need Guns? Just since 2006, the Internal Revenue Service has spent $35.2 million on guns, ammunition, and military-style equipment, including just since the pandemic, $10 million. It's been peak years. They purchased $1 million worth of AR-15 Smith & Wesson rifles and shotguns, for example.
That is extraordinary. Adam, thanks very much. We're going to keep a spotlight on this and continue this conversation. We so appreciate your time. We know that Congress is going away. Many left already this week for a 37-day recess. But when they come back, they're going to be dealing with these appropriations bills, and this certainly will be among the topics. Thank you, Adam.